The Xbox One has been a very interesting system for Microsoft this generation. After the huge success of the Xbox 360 pretty much becoming the go-to brand in video game entertainment, the Xbox One just never really caught on with consumers. And obviously Microsoft has been well looking at the successor to the system, whatever it'll be called, the Xbox One 2 or what have you. But there's been a lot of rumors that there could be potentially another Xbox One console releasing this generation, which was kind of confusing to a lot of people, myself included. It seemed like Microsoft would want to focus their efforts on the next generation instead of trying to somewhat salvage this generation. But today a report went out from a website called windowscentral.com that is saying that another Xbox One, the Xbox Maverick, will be coming to the marketplace as soon as May, just 2 months away. So what the hell is the Xbox Maverick? What is this thing going to do differently? And why do I think this system releasing potentially in May is so interesting for the future of the Microsoft brand? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the Xbox One Maverick coming potentially in May.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So this generation there have been 3 different Microsoft Xbox One SKUs that have released into the marketplace. Of course, you had the original Xbox One SKU that came bundled with Kinect, that was $500 and pretty much set a pace for the Xbox One as sort of being a bit behind this generation. Obviously the PlayStation 4 was only $400 and that $100 extra price point really made it a tough sale for the Xbox One. Then of course we got the Xbox One S, which was a slimmer system, a better running system, a system that ran games even better than on the original Xbox One, and is the Microsoft Xbox One system that I have in my house. I think it's a fantastic system, and it came at a bit of a lower price point than the original Xbox One. Then of course we got the Xbox One X, which is the premier Xbox system that runs third-party games better than the PS4 Pro in most cases. And it's been a very interesting experiment for Microsoft this generation. And admittedly, I think the Xbox One X has been a bit more successful than even Microsoft thought it would be. When they put it out onto the marketplace, they pretty much said that this was not going to replace the Xbox One S. It was just going to be another system, another option for gamers who wanted something a little bit more out of their Xbox One. And it runs third-party games better than the PS4 Pro in most cases, so a lot of people seem to have picked up the Xbox One X. But a fourth system just seems really crazy to me. Adding in a fourth system in a system that has probably sold under 40 million units worldwide just seems kind of weird to me. But now here we have the Xbox Maverick. And supposedly, like I said, Windows Central is reporting that this system will be available for pre-order in April and it will be releasing into the marketplace in May. So what is the Xbox Maverick? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The official name supposedly of the Xbox One Maverick is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, with pre-orders aiming for mid-April 2019 and the general availability coming in early May 2019. It looks as if it could be a near global simultaneous launch in all existing Xbox marketplaces. The discless Xbox One S would be a first for the company, offering fans the ability to ditch discs altogether and go all in digital game licenses, as Microsoft wishes for greater access to its game library via things like Games Pass and the incoming Project X Cloud. Dropping the disc drive from the All Digital Edition should make it the cheapest Xbox console yet, although we have no word on pricing or whether the console will see any design refinements beyond simply dropping the disc. In addition to the discless Xbox One S All Digital Edition, we've heard Microsoft may be gearing up to announce a Fortnite Edition console with a custom Fortnite design rather than a simple game bundle. It is unclear whether the Fortnite console will be a regular S or an X or discless version at this time, but we'll keep you posted as we know more. So obviously there's a lot of information to digest with this supposed rumor. This would be the first time we have seen an all digital console on the marketplace. This will be the first time we have seen a company go through 4 revisions on one console in the marketplace. The only other system that I could think that you could technically say had 4 revisions would be the Sega Genesis. You had the original Sega Genesis Model 1, you had the Sega Genesis Model 2, you had the Sega Genesis Model 3, and you also had the Sega Nomad, but I don't know if you would really consider that 4 different SKUs. I guess technically you could, but the Sega Genesis 3 obviously came out at the tail end of the life cycle. It was just supposed to be a cheap way to play Genesis games, and unfortunately it is also the worst way to play Genesis games. But 4 big SKUs in a lineup of different consoles is very interesting to me, and this system being discless obviously would make the cost of the system very, very cheap. And Microsoft, like this article says, has been pushing things like Games Pass, and I think Games Pass is an absolutely phenomenal service. I think it's a great way to play a variety of games, learn about games that you didn't know about, and play a lot of Xbox One exclusive games right as they launch. Now, whether or not these Xbox One exclusive games are worth playing at launch, that's kind of a different question. But when you're only paying like $10 a month and it often goes on sale for much cheaper than that, I think it's a good value. It's definitely something that's a highlight for me when it comes to the Xbox One. I absolutely love Games Pass because I love playing a variety of games. Now, I think the price point of this system would be very interesting. I would assume that they would be going for a $200 or less price point with this system right out of the gate, and that could entice people who did not pick up an Xbox One to check one out. Obviously, that would be cheaper than the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch, and it would be a good secondary console for people who are into the PS4 or the Nintendo Switch and just want something else to play games on. Bundling it with something like Games Pass, I think, would be really cool. And of course, there is that huge rumor that Microsoft and Nintendo are going to be teaming up and doing some sort of co-going-ons with things like Games Pass potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch, and of course Xbox Live. So if you're just a Nintendo Switch owner, which has been selling exponentially well, it may be worth it to check out an Xbox One Maverick to get this all-digital system and be able to do things with your Nintendo Switch with this other console. If you're able to do things like play a game that's available on Games Pass, that's available on the Nintendo Switch, that's also available on the Xbox One, you could start your progress at home, and then if you take your Nintendo Switch out with you could play this game continually on the Nintendo Switch. So I think it would offer some sort of value for consumers in that. Now, as far as the Fortnite bundle is concerned, that honestly feels like a little bit too little too late with this system. Obviously, you could bundle it with an Xbox Maverick, have a cool little skin on that, but Apex Legends has really been taking over a lot of the Fortnite audience. I didn't expect Apex Legends to take over as much of the Fortnite audience as it has been, but what ends up happening is these big Twitch streamers and these big YouTube streamers then shift over to these other games, and if these other games are actually good and fun, then the Fortnite audience starts to dip down, and Apex Legends has definitely been chipping away at the Fortnite audience. You can see it in Fortnite streamers that are switching over to Apex Legends. It's pretty much the hottest game out on the market right now, so I don't know that a Fortnite Xbox One Maverick or a Fortnite Xbox One in general would really make much of an impact in 2019. I think the biggest takeaway from this story, if the Xbox One Maverick is true and it does come out in May, has to be the fact that I don't think the successor to the Xbox One is quite as close as a lot of people are anticipating it's going to be. If you're going to release a new system in May to try to bolster down your ecosystem and, try to revive the Xbox One, I don't think you would go to E3 and then showcase your new system that's releasing in holiday 2019. A lot of people think that the Xbox One successor could be coming in holiday 2019 or spring 2020, but if you're releasing a diskless system that is obviously designed to sort of bolster down the Xbox One ecosystem, would you want to ruin that ecosystem potentially by releasing a successor to the system? Even if at the end of the day this is just a SKU to sort of test the all-digital market, to see if people would be willing to buy an all-digital Xbox One 2 or whatever the hell they're going to call it, you're going to need more than a couple months of data in order to figure out if people are going to like that. I think you at least need a year, maybe a year and a half of data to see how this system sells, to see how this system performs, to see what people think of it, to see what sort of price point you get with it, and to see how many people are going to want to get things like Games Pass and Xbox Live if they have to get this diskless system because they can't play their discs. They can't go to a game store and purchase their discs. Also, there was the rumors that with this digital system that Microsoft would be allowing for trade-ins of physical games into digital games. But how the hell will that work? How many Microsoft centers are going to be there that are available to get this program going? Because it's going to be obviously a very large undertaking. I obviously own some original Xbox One games here on disc. I prefer to get them on disc if at all possible. So I think it's going to be a very interesting thing. I think there's a lot of hurdles with this potential Xbox One Maverick. And I don't know how this is going to work out. Obviously, it'll be a very interesting piece of technology. Obviously, it would be very interesting to see how Microsoft promotes this. If this system is supposed to come in May is just 2 months away. So if you're taking pre-orders in April, you kind of got to start talking about it. Where could they potentially unveil this? Obviously, Game Developers Conference takes place at the end of March. A lot of people are expecting there to be some sort of news of the Nintendo Switch getting Xbox Live at this event. So they could potentially announce it there and do sort of an unveiling there, showcase what the system is about, a price point, and then open up pre-orders in the middle of April. But it's definitely very interesting. I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. I've seen this story making the rounds on the internet, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in it because it kind of doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I'm curious to see how it all plays out. So what do you think of the potential Xbox One Maverick? Do you think Microsoft needs to release a 4th SKU into the marketplace for the Xbox One, or should they be focusing their efforts on the next generation of systems? Let me know in the comments section down below, and as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.